The Archbishop of the Douala Metropolitan Archdiocese of the Roman Catholic Church, His Grace Samuel Kleda, calls for another dialogue to solve the Anglophone crisis. He says that a major national dialogue failed to provide solutions to the 4-year armed conflict in the northwest and southwest regions of Cameroon. He was speaking during a special mass ordered by the National Episcopal Conference in all parishes of the Roman Catholic Church across the country today in honor of victims of the Kumba school shooting, the 7 students who died after they were shot by gunmen in the town of Kumba, southwest region of the Republic of Cameroon. Thanks, dear viewers, for joining us on this edition of the newscast on Equinoxe Television. We are broadcasting from Cameroon's economic capital, Douala, and my name is Babla Jonathan. We begin this newscast in the St. Peter and Paul Cathedral here in Cameroon's economic capital, Douala, where the Archbishop of the Douala Metropolitan Archdiocese of the Roman Catholic Church, His Grace Samuel Kleda, called for another dialogue to find a way out of the troubled waters in the northwest and southwest regions of the Republic of Cameroon. According to him, the major national dialogue fails to provide solutions to the 4-year-long armed conflict, and he was speaking today during a special mass organized by the Catholic Church in all parishes across the country in honor of victims of the Kumba school shooting, the 7 students killed by armed gunmen in a school in Kumba 2 subdivision, and in the different congregations. The men of God prayed for the return of peace and urged the faithful to shun all sorts of violence. Immaculate Fogwe reports.
After the massacre that took place at Bamileke Street, Kumba, October 24, 2020, the Sacred Heart Parish of Fiango Kumba pays homage to the 7 slain kids as Catholic faithfuls made special prayers for them. In his homily, the Bishop of Kumba Diocese described the war going on as senseless and wants it to be stopped.
My dear Christians and sympathizers, grabbed by fear and anxiety, in our trauma caused by the 4 years of senseless war that has manifested all forms of wickedness of the human heart, in our grief for the so many people killed during this useless war against the northwest and southwest regions, with children especially being the victims, like the recent carnage of our children in Mother Francisca International Bilingual Academy on Saturday, the 24th of October, 2020.
The Christians, as well as the clergy, see only genuine dialogue will end the killings in the Anglophone regions.
Smart Jikan Gabriel reporting there on the special mass in honor of the students killed in Kumba in the Meme Division, southwest region of the Republic of Cameroon. The mass at the cathedral in the town of Kumba. We say thank you to Zai Boy, correspondent in Kumba, and Innocent Yu of Lakeside Radio for those images sent to us today. Now we come back to Immaculate Fogwe with the statements made by the Archbishop of the Douala Metropolitan Archdiocese, His Grace Samuel Kleda, who talked about what the Archbishop or the Bishop of Kumba, Agapitus Fon, described as a senseless senseless war. According to His Grace Samuel Kleda, the major national dialogue failed to provide solutions to the 4-year armed conflict, and so, in his opinion, another dialogue should be organized, bringing together all the warring parties on the same table to discuss the way out of the troubled waters. Details with Anglophone.
The Kmer massacre that occurred on the 24th of October 2020 has left an unforgettable scar in the hearts of many Cameroonians. In memory of the 7 slain victims at the Mother Francisca International Academy in Kumba, southwest region of Cameroon, a mass was organized by the Archbishop of the Douala Metropolitan Archdiocese, His Grace Samuel Kleda. During the Mass, the man of God stressed on the importance of dialogue and resolving the armed conflict.
Quand on parle de dialogue, c'est lui qui peut.
Concrete dialogue will be able to produce concrete solutions. So, what is expected now is for both parties to throw away their differences and rather bring up ideas that can encourage long-lasting peace.
Chercher ce qui construit sans chercher à défavoriser ou.
A thought-provoking sermon from the Archbishop of Douala, His Grace Samuel Kleda. He said that human cruelty, human wickedness is what is killing Cameroonians, is what is slaughtering the children of Cameroon. And the Archbishop was unequivocal, crystal clear. No law is above human dignity, because the sacredness of life has been banalized in Cameroon. I begin to animals, children, the fundamental right of every child is education.
The Christians, dressed in black, denounced all the atrocities committed in the 2 English-speaking regions of Cameroon.
It was not long we were crying of Ngabu, and today we are crying because of Kumba. What about tomorrow? What holds the future for our children? Please let the government do something. We are tired of all this. Let this crisis come to an end, be it here in the northwest and southwest, as well as in the far north. Let it stop. You can do it, and you will do it. Because we, the mothers of the nations, we are all tired. And if you don't do it, we are going to act. That is what we have for you today, to the government of Cameroon.
The head of state, Paul Biya, has been urged by the Christians to act fast in order to facilitate the peace process.
No other Cameroonian can put an end to the Anglophone crisis but the President of the Republic, because he has the mandate to protect, of course, Cameroonians and the territorial integrity of Cameroon, given to him by Cameroonians at the polls. So he is the father of the nation. Why should this crisis go down the road 4 years? Why? How many Cameroonians should be killed? How many Anglophones should be killed before the crisis is laid to rest? I think that is time.
A peaceful march was later carried out in solidarity with the bereaved families. They prayed to God to heal all the injured victims and equally end what they described as a senseless war.
Like Augustine Wendon, a civil society leader, Louis Nkembi, says the president of the Republic of Cameroon, Paul Biya, should have been the first Cameroonian to visit the affected families in Kumba and other parts of the 2 English-speaking regions of the country in his capacity as head of state, also described by many as the father of the nation. In his opinion, during the National Mourning Day, tomorrow focus should be on finding a sustainable, a long-lasting solution to the crisis in the northwest and southwest regions. Derek Jato reports.
It is Friday, the 30th day of October 2020, and it is a black one for the Environment and Rural Development Foundation, ERUDEF, in honor of the victims of the Kumba School massacre.
We condemned with the strongest words such barbaric acts. from whatever side they come from.
The pains of the last October 24, 2020 in Kumba is still with everyone here, and there are no signs that they will get over it soon. At Erudef headquarters in Boya, a press conference is convened by Louis Kembe, the president of this foundation. First, he called on everyone showing consent to engage more in looking towards the direction of solving the crisis that has triggered such barbarism, rather than just condemning.
It looks like the United Nations is not serious to solve the problem. It looks like other international bodies are not serious to solve the problem. And we see a fleet of UN, a fleet of international organization vehicles running across Northwest and Southwest. They keep touching the symptoms. I refocus on the root causes. If the root causes are not solved, sorted out, identified, and all the parties involved sitting to talk. 1 year ago, when we talked about the national dialogue, and I said, we need another dialogue to involve the government of Cameroon and the Anglophone leadership, not the government of Cameroon and all of Cameroon. But the problem is between the government of Cameroon and the Anglophone leadership. If these two people, actors, don't sit face to face, this problem, I guarantee, over the next 20 years will continue.
And to President Paul Biya, the civil society activist who doubles as the president of the Southwest Civil Society Organization Network, said declaring the National Day of Mourning by the president is not enough.
We're interested in long and committed solutions, not just declaring days. We seriously regret that our head of state is managing from a remote location. We have just seen a few days ago, 2 days ago, there was the killing of these church people in France, and Macron moved straight to the place. We're expecting Paul Biya to come over to Kumba. We're expecting the Prime Minister of Cameroon to come over to Kumba. But the rare same surrogates means this thing is not touching them. And I think if they're able to drive down to Kumba, meet the families of these children who have been killed, it will begin a start to heal.
And to the departed innocent souls, they will not be forgotten.
And also affected by the Anglophone crisis, journalists who were either targeted, arrested, detained, or kidnapped. Many of them have suffered these issues in the northwest and southwest regions of the Republic of Cameroon. In the meantime, a man of God, a reverend father in the northwest region of the country, Father Humphrey Tata Mbui, says that journalists must remain objective and should investigate every information in order to avoid anything that could put them at risk. He was speaking during the opening of the office of the Northwest chapter of the Cameroon English-speaking Journalists Association in the town of Bamenda. And during that ceremony, Equinoxe television was recognized and awarded a prize for his objective investigating and fact reporting. Mustela reporting.
In the northwest and southwest regions of Cameroon, at least 14 journalists have either been arrested by government forces or kidnapped by the non-state armed groups. Also, not less than 10 media houses have been burnt or looted in these regions. Reverend Father Humphrey Tata Mbui told journalists during the inauguration of the office of the Northwest chapter of the Association of English-speaking Journalists to stand on the truth.
A journalist is one who forms and informs and educates and entertains the public. You can only do this to anybody if you are prepared to give the truth. I know that in a situation where people fear to speak the truth, sometimes people are tempted to live in such a way that they let falsehood pass. But there's no harm in being the only person who is right. And the journalist must keep to the deontology of the profession. And the profession says the journalist investigates, gets the facts, and is able to put the facts, manages the information.
Having an office at 26 is a moment of celebration for the chapter and also a time to reflect on happenings in the English-speaking regions of Cameroon.
We strongly condemn what happened in Kumba, such an act perpetrated on students and pupils. We're using this opportunity to educate the public. You know, in the biggest of wars, there are no-go areas. You don't attack schools, you don't attack children, these sensitive areas.
The event at their office located at the Missingen Junction brought together members, among them 3 former chapter presidents.
The hallmark of what me, Chovez and the rest were dreaming of, that have a place of your own. And we have had it today. So I'm a proud Kmer member. I'm a proud advisor to the group.
For their resilience and most people-oriented approach to communication, Equinoxe Television was specially recognized. The Guardian Post was also awarded.
And the National Disarmament, Demobilization and Reintegration Commission, led by former Governor Fayengo Francis, says it is stepping up efforts to disarm fighters, notably in the far north region of the Republic of Cameroon. Over 110 ex-Boko Haram militants are now in the Disarmament, Demobilization and Reintegration Center in that part of the country. And Governor Fayengo Francis visited the center recently and indicated that government is making efforts to bring back many of the young Cameroonians who had decided to join the ranks of the Boko Haram terrorist movement. Details by Innocent.
After 150 Boko Haram combatants dropped down their arms and joined the DDR center in Meri in the Jamari division months back, another group of 110 fighters with their wives and children surrendered their arms to the multinational joint task force in Mora. We are happy for their repentance. They are Cameroonians who were negatively oriented. Coordinator of the committee on a working visit in Mora exchanged with the ex-combatants.
We have a lot of training programs, a lot of vocational training programs, and after that the government is disposed to now take these guys who have been trained in the past in our centers, who have been de-radicalized, to settle them now, maybe in their villages, wherever they choose, because they are Cameroonians. The good news that we took from there is that they have put in place measures which may be within the next coming days, few weeks, we may have more of these fighters out.
He was as well in the Mayo Sava division to visit the 13-hectare site, which will host more than 1,000 ex-fighters and their families when accomplished.
I came here, which is the transit center, to see what is happening. During my last visit here, it was not yet like this. There are still things to improve. We have told the chief of center to do a few improvements.
In Meri, Jamari division hosting 150 ex-Boko Haram fighters, Fayengo Francis saw for himself a class of 20 children of these ex-fighters being psychologically drilled by a teacher.
Ces enfants sont, je dirais, ils sont traumatisés. Donc,
these children are traumatized, reason why I am helping them psychologically.
C'est dans ce but-là que j'ai pris la volonté de les encadrer.
The ex-combatants here in Meri were also given foodstuffs like maize, fish, and equipment like refrigerators and television sets to relieve them.
I was pleased to announce to the ex-fighters that the President of the Republic sent them food, sent them something, because they are his children.
According to members of the National Disarmament, Demobilization and Reintegration Commission, it will require permanent follow-up to raise the morale of these men and women for their reintegration into society.
1 year after the deadly landslide in Gwache neighborhood, Bafoussam, west region of the Republic of Cameroon, many victims are still living in misery. Many of them have become hopeless. They are being asked to leave the site where they were resettled. For me, Armstrong Sander reports.
The October 28, 2019 Gwache landslide remains fresh in the minds of Bafoussam city dwellers. On that evening, Bafoussam city dwellers returned home from their daily activities only to learn that a heavy downpour across the city has left a devastating impact on the Ngwashi neighborhood of the 3rd district. The natural disaster left close to 40 persons dead, destroying several houses, rating as one of the worst that Cameroon has ever known. The unfortunate incident also attracted the presence of top personalities in Cameroon, running from leaders of political parties, administrative officials, religious, traditional and opinion leaders. 1 year after, misery, frustration and hopelessness is what characterizes victims of Ngwashi. Some of the victims have been asked to vacate their premises where they have been seeking refuge after the incident.
Les sinistrés du camp de l'Afrique Construction, Antiandam, avaient été sommés de partir.
He says victims who are resettled at the Afrique construction site have been driven away by the owner of the site. Most of the victims, according to him, now go about without shelter in Bafoussam. At the Bamongom resettlement site, construction work is on a hold. The dream by some of these victims to have decent houses after the completion of work on this site have been buried into the thick grasses. The initiative, codenamed Rebuild Ngwashi, which was initiated by an elite of the area, has been halted following a squabble between local administrators and the elite.
Le projet Rebâtir Ngwashi, initié par M. Alain Foucault.
We were hoping to smile again after Alain Foucault launched this project to rebuild our houses, but today work is on a standstill. At the center of the tussle, local authorities say the initiator of the project failed to respect certain norms. While the fight drags on, victims of Ngwashi landslide continue to suffer, homeless and hopeless.
Talking Point is up next. Today we are receiving the Secretary General of the Council of Muslim Traditional Rulers, Littoral and Southwest regions of the country, His Majesty Paraiso Yunus. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you very much.
The Council condemned the killing of 7 students in the Southwest region of the Republic of Cameroon.
First of all, I would like to thank Allah, all praise be to Him, and peace upon Muhammad, the prophet of the last prophets. And it is a good occasion for us to be in Equinoxe this night to give our impression about that abomination. Last Saturday, as you said, 7 children has killed because they are going on for learning, for form. It is an abomination, and every human being should condemn it. Everybody should condemn it. It's an abomination, as I said.
It is an abomination. Oh, what does Islam say about that, about such an incident?
Islam condemn to kill the verses. I will quote the verses as I can in English. The one who kill one person is like he kill all the whole human being. You know, as grave as the crime is, blood is a sacred. When the Prophet Muhammad was in the last sermon, the last speech in Arab month, he said, "You are sacred. Your goods are sacred. The earth is sacred. Donc nobody could not ôter la vie, could not bring life from everybody. Now it's the children. They are completely innocent. How any case that we are defending, any case cannot explain that we go to kill the children. That is to remove hope in the life. This is a hope. Everybody who have children expect that they will grow and replace him at the time that who will not be in this life. All what we are doing, we are making that effort because we have prosperity. When anybody, there is no case to explain how we can go and kill the children in school. I have no words to explain that. I have no words. I have no word to express my impression.
Right. What can be done to end that kind of happening in the northwest and southwest regions of the country? This came after the Garbu massacre, where some women and children were also killed there, and many persons have been killed in similar circumstances, gun battles, shootings in the northwest and southwest regions of the country. And the Archbishop of Douala said today that there is need for another dialogue to solve this problem. And another civil society leader in Boya said that there is need to bring the two warring parties together. Not everybody, like what happened in the major national dialogue, not everybody, not all Cameroonians, but the government of Cameroon and the Anglophone leadership, or the leadership of the northwest and southwest regions, on the same table to solve this problem. In your opinion, what can be done to end these kind of atrocities and abominations?
Thank you very much. The Council of Muslim Chiefs set last Tuesday, and our position is not changed. Since 4 years, we are facing this trouble in southwest and northwest region, and you see that it's the Cameroonians who are fighting between the Cameroon across those other Cameroonians, and the head of state and the government make many efforts to try to solve this solution. But there's something which is very, very important, as in Muslim way speaking. We should not, people should not go over the government. Any case that, any revendication, as I can say, is very important. Islam said that you should continue to ask for your duty to Allah, and you obey to the government. We have begun this matter on the common law. The lawyers are working on today.
The lawyers and the teachers.
The lawyers and the teachers. Today is not about lawyers and teachers. We are in the world that people have skill. What Islam is afraid for? If you continue to fight with one who have not the same force with you, you cannot win. Nobody cannot win with a government, because the government of the chief of the head of state it should be Mr. Probia, it should be everybody. Has not is the due of Allah. There is no government who can be established without the will of God. And at the time that God would like to remove that government, He will do it. That the one who is under the government should try their best to be honest, to be on the right way. They pray Allah to perform, to increase the goodwill of those government, and they obey. That's what we have been taught in Islam.
The people should obey those who are in power.
In power, they should obey, and if they see that there is injustice, they obey. They continue to obey, and they ask Allah to give them their rights, because it's only Allah who are capable to change the mind. Allah says in the Quran, I will quote the verses. No, Allah changes any situation in the people when those people cannot change their own mind. You know, all what Southwest and Northwest is not a matter just for our English-speaking people. It's a matter of all Cameroon, all world. Maybe it's my sins who bring that. How do I do to repent? We Muslims, we think that before you ask the government have the will to stop the war, but they can't do anything without the will of God. It's important we return to Allah. We return to God.
Change should start from the individuals.
It's the individual. That's the position of Islam in the case. In that case, and because when there are small crises, people continue. Nobody have the way to stop. It will be increase. Who know? Even though those buyers of the one who have been Mr. Sisiku, he cannot stop this. If he will, I still he have condemned the kill of children. What he can do else? He cannot stop this because nobody know those who take this opportunity to do their own bad job. The situation should be more uncontrollable if we don't. If we think that it's our volunteer who can change the situation of this country.
All right, Cameroonians should repent.
Cameroon should repent and go back to God for all. Either or in Southwest or in Far North or in Easter is the same situation because what's happening now in the South, in the Northwest and Southwest is not different. What we are facing today, they are talking of makeup. What do we want? We want to rest in peace. We are going up and down for water. To have what called French le bien-être. That's bien-être cannot be obscene when your brother cannot sleep if at Kumba or at Kolofata.
Fight for well-being. Now,
yes, well-being. Thank you very much.
You said earlier that even in the face of injustice,
yes,
the people should obey those who are in power.
It's very important.
How can this work when people are saying that we cannot
understand?
Let's accept to be victims of injustice.
Explain you. Injustice, when I said that the power man established by the Almighty.
All power comes from God.
All power. It isn't.
This is a statement which provoked a lot of anger in Kumba.
I will quote in the Quran, or in the words of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. You have the chief of that you mérité. Comment on dit ça?
The chief of the village?
No. The head of state. If Allah gives you the leader that fits you. As if you are people who are on clear way, we have the leader on clear way. But those leaders that are there, Allah give them, and He only know at the time He will remove them. The way that we want to fight to remove, to destroy the government is like we are fighting directly to the God. As you are saying that the work that God has done is not good. We are thinking that we are better than God. Look, yesterday, not only in Cameroon, in other country, yesterday when a government has established, everybody is crying. But I see that is its removal. The one who comes is worse. Not. That proves that the situation is not in our control.
Fighting the leaders established by God is synonymous to fighting God.
It's not fighting God.
That's what you're saying. All right. Now, let's progress from there to talk about another issue highlighted in a statement signed by the president of the Council of Muslim Traditional Rulers for the Littoral and Northwest regions, His Majesty El Hajj Boubacar Bako. That is, I'm talking about responsibility or wayward behavior in homes. Some of the things happening in society, the atrocities, the abomination, are coming from the waywardness in some homes. And in that communique, you're talking about waywardness in homes. At what degree is this problem in homes in Cameroon today?
Okay, we have the governments in Cameroon. We have the government. We have the region, you have the division, subdivision until the quarter, until the family. And the society begins with the family. And the family will begin with maybe marriage, a man, a woman, and the children. If there is no peace in the small cellular of the family, how peace could be out? When you go to job every morning, and you have been appreciated, you have do very well your job, it's because in the family it's good. If your wife insults you from the house in the morning before you out, should be work very well in the office? No. That's why I constantly think that the responsibility of the parents is more important in this case, because it seems like a parent revoke, démissionner, comment on dit ça s'il vous plaît?
The parent abandon
their duties from the family. How those people who are called ambassadors, they are young. Have you seen somebody who have more than 14, more than 15? Since that they arrest them, it's just the younger. That means that the education at house is not good. You have children at house. Your children can take arm and go and shoot people in school. No, so it's very important that we come back, and that's coming back beginning from the education. That education beginning from for the girls is more important. Why? There's a scholar. They ask him at which time begin the education of the girl. He say the education of small doctor begin when the education of her mother has begun. That means what you are find a wife for you, you don't just a wife for your love, for your well-being, but you are find a mother for your future children. And if that wife have been well educated in his family, he will transfer this good education for his children from
and that will go from one generation to the other.
To other generation.
All right. You also raised an issue of Islamophobia, and you urged Muslim faithfuls in Cameroon not to give in to provocation in the face of rising Islamophobia after what happened recently in France. Is there any threat? Is there a threat of Islamophobia in Cameroon?
Thank you very much. They say to manage is to prevent. You see, we should not. We start very God Allah. We thank the government of Cameroon of what all effort has been done to Cameroonians to live together and all according to any kind of religion, because this is a proud to Cameroon that we are a good symbol of vivre ensemble. You see, now what's happened? The whole planet seems like a village, as we said. What's happened in France? Social media, TV, and you know, you have been informed every minute of what's happened, of the influence of what's happened in France or in Germany or Britain is immediately impact our daily activity
in Cameroon.
That's why we should not wait. Why do we ask people to be carefully, to do not respond to the provocation? What's happened today is not new. In France, what's happened? Since many years, the political statement is that they will overcome the problem of their country by attacking a religion. No, the matter of gilets jaunes is not concerned the religion. The Jews are there, the Muslims are there, the agnostics are there, everybody are there, they are living together. It's not on the government of Mr. Macron that Islam is established in France. So, now, what should be the reaction of Muslims
in Cameroon?
In Cameroon, Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu was the best, or is the best of creation, as Allah said in the Holy Quran. And nobody today cannot say that he have been trouble, he have been injury in that apostolate as Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Today we are preaching, we are trying not to make our religion. Somebody have been thrown a stone or still injury, the blood, the injury him. Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, the prophet, has faced any kind of adversity until Allah send the angel to say, okay, just give an order that those who stone you, they will damage them all. He said, no, leave them. If they are not understand, their prosperity will understand. That means why he is patient.
That's forgiveness.
His forgiveness is great and door, because he have a mission everywhere where there is a Muslim. He is somebody. He's ambassador of Islam. And when you don't respond to somebody who is provoke you, you just patient. Finally, he will be tired, and maybe he will be Muslim and better than you. We have done more example in Islam, in the story of Islam.
So the whole issue and the advice you're leaving to Muslim faithfuls in Cameroon today is tolerance, forgiveness, and patience. Patient
and good characters, good manners. Good manners
that is what one of your fellow Muslim faithfuls, a Muslim scholar, Abdul Karim Ali, is saying in one of his messages to the Muslim faithfuls, and he said, I quote, "Let us repel evil with good deeds as Allah teaches us. Anyone unhappy with the legacy of Muhammad is unhappy with the owner of the heavens and the earth. He or she is unhappy with God. Islam does not support the beheading or killing of anyone because they insulted or make mockery of Allah's message. We ask the Muslims in France and the world over to exercise restraint. Let the Quran and Sunnah be your sword. No violence, says Abdul Karim Ali, and he goes further to say that we call on non-Muslims in France to denounce blasphemy of all sorts. Respect should be the guide. Don't provoke people with the most sentimental thing, that is faith. That is a statement or a message from Abdul Karim Ali to the Muslim faithfuls in Cameroon and the world over. Thank you very much for your time today.
Alhamdulillah, I thank you very much, Equinoxe, for giving us opportunity to come to this studio to give our position, the position of the Muslim Chief Council of Southwest and Littoral Region.
You are His Majesty Paraizu Yunus, Secretary General of the Council of Muslim Traditional Rulers for the Littoral and Southwest regions. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for staying with us. That's it for today.